Hey guys, it's currently 7:45 on November 19th, and I'm supposed to be studying for midterms and writing a paper, but I'm super excited because next Friday from now, hopefully should be released my third song, UNLEARN You, so I thought I'd just do this video when I'm still super passionate about this song, because as I got out of my last relationship, and I thought I'd just unpack this video, like just do a little unpacking in this video. So this is the album cover. Yeah, I edited it. I'm really happy with it. There's some Easter eggs in here, which you guys can try to figure out. Some people probably know. Cool. But I'm just gonna listen to the song and kind of explain line by line what everything means and like why I am choosing to put this song out as the first on my EP that I'm working on. So I'm super excited. I wrote this song in parts. A little context about this song. Most songs that I write probably in like a 30-minute span of time. And then I'm done. And like I might tweak like the bridge, but I have a pretty solid history of just writing a chorus, verse, and having an idea because I'm super passionate about whatever I'm writing about in the time of writing that. This song was really unique because when I was in the relationship that I was in, I wrote the first verse of this song. I was still with the person that I was with. And I wrote it and I didn't put it out anywhere because I was like, I don't want the person I'm dating to hear that I just said that about them, because it was so personal and I felt like it wouldn't have been like taken well in the relationship that I was in. And that's like a red flag. Like if you're writing something about the person you're with and you're like, they would not like that I just said that, why'd you say it then? Why did you feel the need to say it if it wasn't valid to you? So yeah. The first verse I wrote about a month and a half ago. Finished the song the week we broke up because I knew what I wanted to say. This was the first time in my life I've been with someone that I have liked enough to change things about myself so that they would be more satisfied with me. That's not healthy. That is codependency. That's not long-term fulfilling at all. I say this to say, everything's a learning experience until you know better, until you know, oh, shouldn't do that anymore. I'm better than that. You're better than that. We don't deserve that from each other, for each other. So, Unlearn You is about realizing that the only way me and this person would have worked out is if I changed myself completely to fit what they needed from me and made compromises from myself as to what they were not offering me. And I was like, okay, but it's still you, so I'll still be with you because it's you, even though you're not offering me the things that I need from a partner. It's still you and I love you, so I'm gonna be with you. But that's not okay. Just because it's a person and you have emotions and feelings towards this person doesn't mean that they are your person. And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's a difficult pill to swallow. So, everything else aside, we're going to get to listening to the demo of this song that I first wrote. Excuse me. And yeah, just going to explain it kind of part by part of the song.
Your friend called me fat, so I started counting things from calories and laps to the words I chose to speak. Took your touch like medication. I began to crave its fullness.
There's a lot to unpack there. Starting off, okay. So I had written that entire part that we just heard when I was still with the person that this song is loosely inspired by. Yeah. Can't really say anything but what was said the first line. Can't really add context, add detail. I've always been a short individual. If you know me in real life, I'm 5'1". I have the build of someone who's 5'1", who's petite but curvy petite. And I have had such a wonderful female role model that is my mother in my life. I'm super grateful for having such a positive self-image for the majority of my life, because I had a mom who told me, like, it doesn't matter what you look like, it matters that you take care of yourself, that you're happy with yourself. Oh my gosh. It is so easy, once you open that part of your mind, to only think about others' perceptions of your physical image. And for me, that was literally nothing like I ever thought about until I was with somebody who did think like that. I had a really great role model who didn't put that kind of pressure on me to prioritize how I looked over what I wanted to do with my life, I guess. My goal, I feel like, that I can do with any kind of opportunity that I ever have is just to spread, like, self-love and positivity. As someone who has recently been on the negative side of the spectrum, it's so easy to listen to the mass majority of people and be like, oh, well, actually, I'm not pretty enough. You don't think like everybody else, don't be like everybody else. You are so different on purpose, okay? And I'm preaching to the choir here, because this is now something that I struggle with. It's been a month since everything happened. Immediately after not having, like, his presence in my life anymore in that way, I realized how much of my energy was going into thinking about myself like that. Like, what are people thinking about me? What is he thinking about me? Oh my gosh, I wore this shirt today and it's not, like, fitting me properly, so are people gonna think that I, look a certain way? Who cares? Who cares? Wear what you want to wear what makes you happy. It doesn't matter what people think. And it's so restrictive when you start thinking like that, because it's impossible, especially with social media, to, like, outgrow that mindset once you start thinking like that. Anyway, I say all this to say to the song, the person that I was dating had some close friends that were on the football team in our small town in Georgia. And they basically told him, as he told me this, so I don't even know if it's true, but I'm sure it was. Anyway, they told him that he didn't need to date me because I was too fat, because I was not skinny enough to date him. Oh, okay. So that really, really messed with my head, because not only did these people that I don't care about think that about me, or at least I was informed that they did, but my partner is telling me this. Telling me, oh, I don't care, but they said that I shouldn't date you because you're too fat. So what do you actually think? Because you've thought about it enough to think that you need to tell me. So that was rough. Again, it wasn't really a problem until I got out of it and I was like, what am I doing? What have I been doing for the past 6 months of my life, So that's kind of like a rude awakening, but it was very much needed. The rest of the song, started counting things, started, like, obsessing over this false identity of someone I had never been before, because I was like, well, the person that I care about cares enough about this aspect of me to tell me that it's a problem that I can change. So I'm gonna change myself so that they're happy with me. Took your touch like medication, I began to crave its fullness. Wow. again, like the whole weight theme of this song, I just think that kind of descriptive way to word that, that's why I kept it in. Here is the chorus.
I took a risk, you lured me in. The honey turned to poison.
Love it.
And I'll admit when we called it quits, it wasn't what I wanted. But looking back, I can't say that you were gone too soon. As a matter of fact, I'd love to get to unlearn you.
I wrote that in probably 5 minutes. Some stuff happened after we broke up. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to personally victimize myself and make someone a criminal. Like, it's your life now. I ended it. What you choose to do after we're together, it's none of my business, and I'm not going to read too much into it. I wrote a bunch of songs in like a 3-day span because I was feeling a lot. But I took a risk. I got out of my comfort zone. I'm a control freak. If you know me, you know that, okay? You lured me in. Very charming individual. There's a reason it's called the manipulator. Honey turned to poison. I love that line. I was looking up sweet things that are toxic. And it was like, honey can be poisonous if left in an environment that like directly taints it. The thing that we had is so sweet. You just had to have one factor that made it like crumble and deadly. And I'll admit, when we called it quits, it wasn't what I wanted. Pretty straightforward. It was kind of sudden, but also kind of not. It still sucks though. When you actually care about somebody, when you want the best for them and for yourself, and you know that that person is not the best thing for you, but you still love them, nobody wants to end a relationship like that. You just have to do the mature thing and take one for the team. Looking back, I can't say that you were gone too soon. As a matter of fact, I'd love to get to unlearn you. I think that's wonderful. I think it's a positive outlook on something that's so negative. If you're putting your energy into something, your energy, the emotion you associate with that energy is how you're going to feel about that situation. If you're like, wow, that was terrible, I'm miserable because I'm no longer with this person, you're going to be depressed naturally. I mean, you're going to be sad initially anyway. But if you look at the situation as an overall learning experience, and if you separate the person from the experience and the memories that you have together, you can still cherish the time that you had. You can just realize that you outgrew what that was for that time. This was beautiful. It wasn't sustainable. So, I have to unlearn the part of you that is now me, in me. Yeah.
My chest, well, it's tight. It's used to your weight. Thought you put up a fight. There's only one of us who's brave enough to change. Left myself for your favorite features. Now I'm someone that I don't recognize.
That's so tea. My chest, well, it's tight. It's used to your weight. Again, throwing back to this motif of weight. That's like throughout the entire song. Just that feeling of like, wow, like we're not on speaking terms anymore. It's so weird to make that transition away from somebody, but when it's gotta be done, it's gotta be done. Thought you'd put up a fight. Guess only one of us was brave enough to change. Basically, again, not gonna get into it. But I kind of brought it up. I was like we shouldn't do this anymore. Like, I can't do this anymore. I didn't get a no. I didn't get a please, let's talk about this. I figured this would happen. Okay. Wow. So you're not even gonna disagree with me? You gave up. I wouldn't have given up that easily if I were you. For me. So, guess only one of us was brave enough to change. This entire song is a reflection of the mountains I moved inside of me to encompass you. And when I'm asking you to make an effort, to make a change so that we can be together, you just say, okay, we don't have to be together anymore. What does that say about you? Left myself for your favorite features, the favorite things about you, the things that I knew you didn't like about me, I changed because you wanted me to change them. Now I'm someone that I don't recognize because what did I do to appease you? Basically.
Last night in my dreams, there was a ping in my chest. You gave back my things, but I woke up remembering.
I've never known how to end a song more in my life because I had written everything. I'd felt pretty good about it. A week passed after the breakup, after I'd written the chorus and the other stuff. And I was like, I don't know how to end this song. Like, it doesn't feel right to just end it on the UNLEARN News because, like, it's not, you can't just unlearn somebody. You can't just be like, oh, you're out, bye. No, you have changed so much of yourself to become that version of yourself for the other person. That doesn't happen overnight. You don't gain who you were before back. So, I was, like, contemplating how to end it throughout this week, whatever. I couldn't tell what it was at first. I would wake up in the morning and I'd be like, oh, there's this just like feeling. I just kept waking up probably like 3 or 4 nights in a row with this feeling of like what was that kind of like feeling. And on like the 5th day or whatever, I woke up and I had remembered. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, like I just had a dream that we broke up and it was fine, but it ended in the way that I expected, in the sense that we'd still be friends and maybe we would like rekindle one day because he improved himself and he tried and he fought for us instead of doing what he ended up doing. And I woke up and I was like, like, how could he not have done that? How could he have just given up and become this new version that I've never seen? Last night in my dreams, there was a pang in my chest. You gave back my things. So in the situation, I woke up one day and I was like, it wasn't to the point where I picked up my phone and I was like expecting to have him text me like we were still together. But in my head, because of that reality in my dream, I was like, oh, like I can text him if I want to text him. I can send him a video on Instagram, you know, if it's funny. And it reminds me of him because we were together. It's just so different when someone is completely cut out of your life versus when you're like, oh, like, yeah, we were together, but we're still like, we're still friends and we still care about each other. Just to cut contact because of something that someone else does is just like, it's not good for your conscience, you know. I woke up and I remembered how I'm still kind of who he remembers, but he's out making choices that have nothing to do with me now. And he didn't process our relationship. He just kind of did what he wanted to do that would appease him in the moment, kind of thing. And that's all I'm gonna say. But it's so difficult when you realize how much healing you have to do when someone else doesn't make that same decision. That's not healthy, you know, to not process the things that happen to you. And I say that from a privileged perspective because some people don't have that option of processing. They just have to keep going, and depending on your circumstances, that kind of thing. But emotionally, you're just adding demons to your situation if you're not processing what's going on. And I don't want to say this because it's a stereotype, but I feel like often I have a ton of friends and I have family who've kind of experienced the same thing where like we as women hold on to this feeling and this memory and like we feel the pain and then we heal. Men go to the next thing and bring that unhealed trauma from the last relationship of like that ending and them not knowing why it ended and just uncertainty into the next relationship, putting that on their partner without even realizing it, and then one day just being like, out of the blue, oh my gosh, like what happened with my past relationships, when us as women, and at least in this dynamic, we've already processed it, we have moved on. Men move on, and then a year into their next relationship, they just get hit with all this regret and confusion and everything you need to process immediately after getting out of a relationship. I am really proud of this song. I'm really proud of myself for being so honest about something that's really difficult and something that was difficult for me. The first step of like healing, I believe, is for me at least, and as a creative person, I would advise anyone to journal about the things that they're confused about or that they're frustrated with, because it just feels better. It feels better to write it down or talk to somebody about it, and sometimes you don't want to talk to anybody about it, so talk to yourself about it. I'm so blessed with the community that I have. Please know that if you're literally watching this video, if you've made it this far in this video, I'm getting you something for your birthday. Comment your birthday and I'll give you something for your birthday. Comment your birthday. Yeah, like basically I'm so happy that you guys like this stuff, like these songs. I'm planning on probably doing some explanation videos in the future, especially about this next EP, because all of the songs are kind of linked together. So this is part 1 of my EP explanation series. Please go listen to Unlearn You, the lower production version, ... because I am super proud of it. I think it's an incredibly vulnerable and real piece of writing in terms of what I've written. And yeah, I really, thank you. Happy holidays. Everybody, go stream Unlearn You and subscribe. Love you! Bye!